Alright guys, welcome to the second training that we have here in the actual training module set here. We have the conventional deadlift. So let's talk a little bit about the mechanics or mechanical checkpoints. So wrists are interchanged, meaning one wrist is pointed away from you, one wrist is pointed towards you. I like to interchange them between each set, not necessarily between each rep, basically just so that I can avoid fatigue in each wrist. So what's the first thing that we notice? We notice that the center of gravity is placed in front of the base of support. We discussed this when we talked about the contrasts between deadlifts and squats. So center of gravity is placed in front of the base of support. Hamstrings are going to become activated, otherwise you're going to break form, right? So as you pull up, remember like what we discussed, we're going to think about pushing down into the heels, with the heels pushing down away from your body. Chin tucked in. A key point is to have the bar close to your body, grazing your shin along the way, and then back down. Another thing that you can think about is that when you start this deadlift, before you begin lifting, the inner part of your elbows are going to be right next to your knees. So you should be able, if you were to try to flap your arms while you're holding the bar and kind of flap like a chicken, the inner half of your elbows are going to bang against the outer half of your knee. That's a great assessment to make sure that you're in the correct position. This is like an athletic position that you have when you're a middle infielder or you're ready to steal a base. It's all relative. So as we lift the weight, we're going to remember the thoracic extension once we get to the climax of the lift, once we get to the highest point of the lift, when our hips and our knees have extended fully. You should feel the shoulder muscles and the back muscles being activated as you hold the weight, and you're going to be pushing back again against your shoulder blades for that thoracic extension. Pretty easy peasy. The more you do this, the better your form gets, essentially, and the stronger your foundation becomes. And when you get to that point where your mechanics are flawless, the harder you're going to be able to hit the ball, because the same foundation that you have here with your legs is going to be the same foundation that you have at point of contact, which is the most exciting part of this tutorial. So 5x5, 2 to 3 times a week. Key checkpoints, we want to make sure that we're pushing down into the ground with our balls of our feet, with our heels. We want to make sure that before we lift, that our inner elbow is connected with the outer part of our knee. And as we begin to lift and extend our hips and our knees, chin tucked in, and then our key point is that the bar is going to graze the shin, it's going to graze the ankles as we lift up the bar. And then we want to make sure that our key point is that we have executed that thoracic extension. So 5x5s, 2 to 3 times a week, anywhere between 50 to 70% of your overall max. And that's all I really need to know about the conventional deadlift. We could start this off before or after the sumo deadlift. The sumo deadlift is the next exercise that we're going to have. You could start with that one first if you feel more comfortable with that, or you can go ahead and skip to the conventional deadlift, but this is going to be where it starts. See you in the next lift.